Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mngoni Mkonto. Let me talk about the advantages of being in a kingdom or being in a system which allows people to self-govern. Uh, a family, a family unit is the foundation of governance. The father is the president of the home, and then the mother, we can not really, the father is not the president because the father is not voted. The father is a king and the mother is a queen because they cannot be voted in or out. They are imposed into the children, so they can uh, it's not it's a democratic structure, uh, which is basically self-governing. A family, it's a form of structure which is self-governing, which does not allow interference by other people or other members of the family which are not necessarily relevant on the governance. When uh, a man is matured, uh, then he can self-govern. When he can self-govern, he moves away from his father and become autonomous and start his own kingdom. Of course, supported by his father or his family or his former kingdom. uh, he starts another autonomous structure, which is another kingdom. It's too important that these kingdoms are not interfered with by people from outside the family structure. People from outside the family structure should not be allowed to interfere with the family affairs. So when you start self-governing, it means you must gather resources or you've already accumulated some resources. But where immediately you start self governance, it means you must be self sustainable. You must be able to take care of your family without asking anybody for anything. It means that's where we talk about the economy of that kingdom, the economy of that house, uh, which needs to be taken care of. People think kingdoms are something complicated, and people think kingdoms are dictatorship. Can a child complain that his father is not democratic? Can a child complain that a mother is not democratic? She should be voted out, and another mother should come in. Mm. So kingdoms basically create stability because the decisions that are made by the king are made in the interest of the family, not in the interest of being sitting in the kingdom. The kingdom is not contested. So when you make the decision in the kingdom, you are not making the decision influenced by whether people can kick you out or whether people can topple you one day. No, you make decisions that will be beneficial to the family because you are stable, you know of your position. Your position is permanent in the family. There's nobody who is going to topple you. You don't have any fear of being toppled or being voted out. So that creates the stability in the family. That is why people are able to stay together um, for years and create resources. So the most important resources that a family is producing, or the most critical resource that the kingdom is producing or a family is producing, is a human being. A human being is the most important resource that any person can have in this planet. So a family unit has got the ability to create human beings. That's why families are very important. The kingdom, in this regard, I'm talking about a family. A family is a kingdom. So the kingdom has got the ability to create human beings. Does the government have the ability to create human beings? Does the system have the ability to create human beings? No, they don't have the ability to create human beings. It's only kingdoms who have the ability to create human beings. The system is only feeding on human beings or human resources that comes from the kingdoms. So the kingdoms are producing children to feed the system, not to expand themselves. The kingdoms are producing children to feed to the system instead of expanding their kingdoms. What am I saying when I say this? If a kingdom produces human resources and it cannot use that human resource to enhance its own economy, then the children that comes from that kingdom will be taken to be slaves by the system. We're talking about the government. The government is the system. When maybe the EFF wins, the dictatorship of the EFF or the system, which has no ability to produce children. Children comes from the kingdoms. So the people who are making decisions about people should be the kingdoms. So a family is self-governance on an individual level. A kingdom is self-governance on a village level. And then these politics are supposed to be working for the kingdoms. The kingdoms are not supposed to be voted. The government is supposed to be voted, but the kingdoms are not supposed to be voted. So when you vote the government it's only for administration of the kingdom. So the government administer the affairs of the kingdom on behalf of the kingdom. Not that the government has become a kingdom. The government cannot be a kingdom because it cannot create children. The only time you can be a kingdom is if you can create human beings. If you can create more human beings, then you can be a kingdom because the human beings that you are creating will not vote, will not be able to vote you out. So you are a king, and their mother is the queen because they won't be able to vote her out. So when we say let's get back to kingdoms, we mean let's get back to building the black family from its unit. Getting back to building the the black family from its unit. Uh, the unit of the black family is this kingdom that I'm talking about. The kings and the queens of the land. If you are a husband, you are a king. If you are a wife, you are a queen. If you are a parent, you are a queen. Because your children cannot vote you out. So you are one person who is governing them and who's gonna govern them forever. It's just that you will allow them to self-govern at a particular age, but you will be governing them continuously until you passed on from this planet. So when we say the government of the people, by the people, for the people, it must be the government of the families. The families are allowed to control their lives. The families are allowed to make decisions about themselves. The kingdoms are allowed uh, to be different because the kingdoms are not even the same. It should be because how I do things in my family, it's not bound to be the same as how you do things in your family. Even if maybe we're brothers, sometimes we differ in a way that we do things. So a kingdom is an autonomous structure. Let kingdoms remain autonomous structures, and those who are feeding from the kingdoms realize that the kingdoms can no longer feed them anymore. I thank you for listening.